The 7 wonders of the world. Man's greatest achievements. Treasured by everyone. Or are they?
If that was on my road, the council would be on it. They'd go, get that down. It's a death trap.
Carl Pilkington.
For people who don't know who Carl Pilkington is, how would you describe him?
A little, round-headed, bald, mank, missing link, chimp-like buffoon.
Right. And you're a mate of his, aren't you?
I'm a good friend.
I'm not going on a camel again.
Come on.
I'm not going on a camel again.
Wait.
I'm not going on a camel again.
It is the funniest documentary I've ever seen.
Let me go home. Jesus Christ.
An Idiot Abroad, Sunday at 9, brand new to Pick TV.
The lads are back for more TNA, so are the flashing images and extreme wrestling.
WrestleTalk TV is sponsored by TNA Turning Point 2012 on DVD, an online wrestling training school, the schoolofwrestling.knowledge.org.
TV on Challenge Late Zone. My name is Joel Ross. This week, no Patrick Lennon. He is coming back for part 2. There wasn't even a... Oh. No, come on. If you were watching the show 7 days ago, we had RJ Singh on, one of Britain's finest wrestlers, and we put Pat and RJ to a test to eat the world's hottest curry ever. And as you can see from the footage right now, but Pat's not been too well this week. So he's been sweating a lot, and he should be back very soon. Fingers crossed. Just whatever you do, girls, avoid trap 2. Catherine Miller is here tonight. And Francesca Woods. Or as I referred to a minute ago, which I got a lot of grief for, the Blossom Twins. No, it's the Bellas. You can tell them apart now.
One's put weight on. I am... I'm a meanie, aren't I?
If I had an earpiece, I'm sure I've got move on. So Extreme Rules tonight, then.
Yep. Yay!
The 2 big matches we're going to talk about. First off, Francesca, do you like it extreme? I mean, you know, like, were you into hardcore, like WCW and stuff, ECW and things like that? Or are you more PG?
I'm a big WCW fan, as you know, so I never watched much ECW at the time, but... Right.
So, a bit of extreme tonight, then. Are you looking forward to seeing Brock Lesnar versus Triple H again, but this time it's in a steel cage?
Wow. They've really thrown something in the mix with that one.
I'm never ever that excited about steel cage matches, because I think it really blocks your vision. Like, I don't think it...
There's Francesca looking through the cage by then.
No, but even from the outside, I just think it's too close up, it's too... It just,
I'm going to take a call from UFC.
Unless it's David Arquette.
Can you get rid of the octagon, please? Francesca can't see.
Unless it's David Arquette.
Right. I've no idea where this is going. Now, Kat, you're at WrestleMania. You saw Triple H and Brock Lesnar again. How was it live?
To be perfectly honest, I think the crowd had blown themselves up a little bit from from Punk Undertaker. Yeah. I think if watching it back, it was actually a decent match. I think from the incident that had happened with the dry ice with Triple H, actually.
Really weird.
I think that kind of threw Triple H, because I think looking at him actually coming out, he can see he's in pain. Or
he's got some white stuff on his chest.
I thought he'd had like an explosion in the talk factory, and there's something he'd just kind of gone a bit OTT.
An explosion.
But the match itself, I thought it was a decent match, but it was nothing that you hadn't really seen before from either of them.
But I'm sure it's going to end tonight, isn't it? It's going to end tonight, and of course, get involved with predictions tonight as well. Hashtag at the bottom of your screen if you want to get involved. The other big match. Cena versus Ryback. Now, you went to Monday Night Raw as well, Kat, and you were there. Yep. Did you get to see him Ryback backstage reading the auto cue really badly.
Oh, God.
I didn't. I did. It must have taken, I can imagine it took a few takes, that, to be honest.
Well, no, it was just really bad. But then he was in the ring with Mick Foley, and the last 3 minutes of him doing the stuff in the ring, it was like, this is amazing.
Did you notice they put a hat on him because he's a bad guy now? Now he's a heel, they put the hat on. It seems
it
to be
didn't
the
work for Big
WWE
Show,
thing.
it's not working for him.
Let's stick a beanie hat and just see how mean you can look.
Badass.
So, John Cena, Ryback.
Yep.
Tonight, are we expecting anything exciting?
I think they could pull something out. I think they can pull a decent match out.
Do you know what? We should just start this show again while Extreme Rules on tonight. Anyway, in the meantime, here's two birds.
I think they can pull a decent match.
I thought you'd love it. I mean,
I like John Cena, and
so do I. I really like John
I think
Cena,
people don't give him enough
so
credit.
do I. I love John Cena as well.
No, I really think people have turned against him, and I just.
So it's a no for Extreme Rules. I know you both going to stay up for it.
No, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be good. I don't think it's going to be extreme as some people. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily.
Well, Kat, what is your version of extreme?
Are
you into hardcore?
You just want to keep asking that question. I don't think you're going to see the multiple chair shots to the head, the blood, the thumbtacks, kind of the old kind of extreme that you'd actually see from ECW and things like that. I think it's their version.
So we're not getting any of that tonight then?
It's not going to be CCW.
To a more PG version, I think.
Definitely.
Right. So like what? Just like a...
You might get the old rubber sledgehammer.
It's not rubber. It's real, because if I was going to hit somebody with a sledgehammer, I'd cover the end too. I never get that. You know, you get a sledgehammer and you know it's real. He bangs it on the steps and then he puts his hand over the end of it and I'm like...
And it bounces on the ring.
It's still real to me, damn it. And finally, what's your thoughts on Jack Swagger? Because he's there tonight. It's the three-way, Dolph and Del Rio and Swagger. What's your thoughts on Swagger?
A little bit bland, personally. But I don't know. I think Zeb is the star in that.
Yeah, he's the star of the show. But I can't see where it's going for Swagger because I assumed he'd win at Mania, and now it's kind of gone on. But where's it going to go from here? Like,
that's me. I don't write this shit.
I know. I guess I'm asking the wrong person, but
where do you want it to go?
Anywhere the wind takes it.
I think draw a line under it with that. I don't know. I mean, because how he's had his matches now. He's had how many other matches with Alberto Del Rio?
Yeah,
he's kind of done that mix a little bit much now. And
who can I move on to?
Yeah.
Before we move to our question of the week, I mentioned this last week on the show. If you weren't watching it, I'll say it again. Raw was in the UK, as SmackDown was at the O2. I didn't go to Raw on the Monday because I wanted to see Man United win the title again, 20th time. However, Tuesday I got tickets. I had a spare ticket, right? I text Kat. Kat was all wrestled out and too tired, and Francesca was going to Nando's with her friends.
I love chicken. What's wrong with that?
I had an early night. Early night. Sorry.
I've even lost weight.
It's been 2 weeks.
I'm trying to lose weight. I'm trying to make myself attractive to the other sex. The opposite sex, other sex, or whichever sex. Anyway, extreme stuff doesn't just go on the TV. Wrestlers obviously like to joke and rib each other. So we put it out there this week, our WrestleTalk TV question of the week, to some of the greatest in the world. We asked them, what is the best or worst rib you've ever seen?
Well, this didn't go all the way through, but when I was wrestling with this group AWR, they had Gangrel, who's a vampire, and he would have a casket match where they would pull out a casket, and then you have to put your opponent in the casket, and then the match is over. And we thought it would be funny to put this inflatable doll in there that we found at a truck stop. She made most of the tour with us, and on the last day we put her in there, and it was just getting ready to get wheeled out to the ring, and we thought it'd be great if they open it up during the match, and there she is.
Best rib. Probably Jake the Snake, because I'm phobic of snakes. He put the snake in my bag, so when I opened my bag up, the snake was in there, so I pretty much crapped my pants.
My brother's a cop, and I played a rib on this wrestler named Rhino. Had him pulled over one time, so it was pretty funny.
Tommy Dreamer putting a brownie in his butt and then saying that I heard him, and he took his pants down and the brownie fell out, and C.W. Anderson threw up right away.
I cannot say. Well, we've had them all. The custard in the boots, the briefcase, lock ring, chains, the full Monty. I think the custard of the boot the first time was the best one. Very squelchy.
Francois, my good man, my friend, my partner in crime. What is the best rib you've experienced?
Oof, one that was baby-backed, covered in barbecue sauce.
I ate with you that night.
Had a side of coleslaw.
That was awesome.
Good whole wheat bread.
I remember that. I remember that. It was a good meal.
I see what you're saying.
Wrestling.
You're using some insider lingo. Oh, the rib.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
We see when you're road-tested veterans like us, you don't get ribbed.
Nobody
You
ribs
do
us.
the ribbing. And I mean that not in the dirty way that you think I do, Patrick.
Yeah.
Who's finally pulling himself out of a pile of filth. Alrighty. Best rib I've seen in the last 12 months was when Alex Silva got hired by TNA. That was hilarious. You got us, Rick. Oh boy, I never saw that coming. Goof. Good Lord. Good Lord. I can't. If anything tops that in 2013, I may just quit the business. Good God.
Oh boy.
Q loves a good joke. Q loves a good joke. Now, Kat mentioned during that that we have never actually mentioned Fandango on this show.
Shocking.
You know, properly.
It's the great unspoken subject.
All right, okay, quickly, before we get a break and we talk about who's coming up. Fandango, a yes or a no? I'm not getting Brian Danielson out me box. Yes, yeah, no.
It's a little bit of a no. I mean, obviously...
You were all over him.
No, well, of course, because it's a fad. It's done what it was meant to do. It was a little bit of a revolution. It was everyone was enjoying it, and I think it's kind of seen its day now.
With a name like Fandango, he's never going to be a main eventer. I don't think. But yes from me. I love him. I love Fandango.
I've got the ringtone.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you like that?
I missed that. Just,
I'm not doing it again.
Sky Plus, just rewind. So Fandango, yes or no?
Yes.
All right, I'm all flustered now.
Yeah.
I'm up. Right, coming up in part two, Patrick Lennon is going to be back with us. And also, we're going to be joined by this guy. It's Johnny Storm, the Wonder Kid. Here he is in action right now, facing AJ Styles. And next week, straight after us, the BWC show is going to be back on Challenge Late Zone. And you can see him being our UK ambassador in a retro section, the classic match with him and AJ Styles. You want to see Johnny Storm? He's on your TV in 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
WrestleTalk TV is sponsored by TNA Turning Point 2012 on DVD, an online wrestling training school, the schoolofwrestling.knowledge.org.
I wonder what it's like to be
Flavour. Your Sky Plus box is even better when it's connected to your broadband. So plug in yours and transform the way you watch TV forever. You could enjoy the UK's biggest catch-up TV service and never miss a thing. Watch entire box sets on demand and rent over 1,000 movies straight to your TV. So plug in your Sky Plus box today and you could watch more catch-up channels than anyone else, entire box sets, and rent the latest movies. Go to sky.com/connect to find out more. Sky, believe in better.
At Morrison's, these beers and ciders are only £10 each. Perfect for the bank holiday, whatever the British weather. Morrison's, more of what matters.
We compare broadband.
Join us.
To the Smiler. The Smiler, the world's first 14-looping roller coaster. Book now at AltonTowers.com.
up yours.
Brand new Hannibal, Tuesday at 10 on Sky Living HD. And if you missed the last episode, catch up on demand now.
Back to our programme now here on Challenge, and remember those flashing images.
WrestleTalk TV is sponsored by TNA Turning Point 2012 on DVD, an online wrestling training school, the School of Wrestling Knowledge.org.
TV. I'm Joel Ross. Patrick Lennon is back after his Vindaloo challenge 7 days ago. He's a broken man.
It's it's been a rough week, everybody. And all I say is a total non-stop action.
There wasn't any nans. There was no nans.
No, I know.
Just granddads.
Yeah. just kind of fluids. Yeah.
And tonight we are joined by a 20-year veteran. Well, almost. He's knocking 60, but he's still known as the Wonder Kid, Johnny Storms.
20 years.
Well, it is, isn't it? I'm working it out. Well, I'm not. I'm on your Wikipedia page. But it is, isn't it?
No.
What is it?
It's about 16.
It's nearly 20, isn't it?
Yeah.
Give or take four years. Seriously, I've been a fan for many, many years. Now, you know, if anyone's on the show and I never say that, it means I don't like them. But no, I genuinely have, and I've watched you many, many times. Now, you don't seem to be on as many shows as you used to be. Is that because you don't want to work for, like, 5p a show, around the country? You know, you're being quite specific about where you work, or is it like you're like, no, I'm a 16-year veteran?
No, it's nothing like that. It's just I've been doing a lot of shows which aren't classed as major shows anymore, because obviously it's an internet age now, and shows that you read about are probably mainly from the internet and stuff like that, and a lot of the shows that I do aren't necessarily, have reports written up on them and things like that. So I'm probably working as much, if not the same, as before. It's just that they're not covered as much on the internet and things like that.
And
but
also,
there are some very good,
That's okay.
There's some very good shows out there as well, Brian Dixon shows, obviously he's the oldest running company in England. I wrestle for him all the time, but, you'll see a few reviews of his shows online, but the majority of them, where he runs, say 20 shows a month, you might only read up on one of them and stuff like that. So that's sort of where I've been. I mean, I do obviously wrestle for main shows and stuff like that now, depending on whether they want to book me or not.
See, this is you miss the opportunity. What you should do is come in with a T-shirt with your email address on there, and then just bend down. You got book me written on your head. Now.
I need Alex Shane to run some more super shows, so if you're listening, Alex.
Don't distract him, he's got too much on. Let's talk about some of the big names you've wrestled. We talked in the Showbiz Kitchen earlier on, you were saying about watching WWE and seeing, like, Daniel Bryan and CM Punk and just, all these guys that you've worked with over the years. Just name some of them and tell me, how good or great they were.
Bastion Booger, he was...
Yeah, he was... He's dead, isn't he? You can't talk... He was Norman, wasn't he? Norman the Lunatic.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, sorry. Zip. Yeah.
Like you said, it was awesome. Punk, it's amazing seeing how well they're doing now, Bryan Danielson when he was American Dragon, Spanky's another one, I still refer to these guys, as like their original names or what we used to call them back in the day, like Bryan Danielson was Dragon, we always used to call him Spanky's, Brian Kedrick, and it's just such a cool thing to see, like, your friends and people do really, really well.
Well, it's nice you say that, because a lot of people would be like, if I watch, like, people I went to school with and I see them on, like, BBC One, or whatever, and you're like, so pleased for you. But you generally mean that, don't you, when you see these guys?
Absolutely, man. They deserve all the credit in the world, especially the guys who have gone on to do really, really well for themselves. And not just the Americans, I'm not just saying it because he runs this show, but Alex, the things that he's done for British wrestling. I've said this to him before, but if someone writes a book in 10 years' time on, like, the history of British wrestling from, say, the 90s onwards, 2000s, he's going to be such a massive part of that book. He's influential in so many things that made British wrestling big, what it is now. You know, him, Doug Williams, Mark Sloan, Jodie Fleisch, people like that. They're all responsible for the resurgence of British wrestling in this country, and I really do believe that, you know, and I hope down the line that they do get the credit that they deserve, because they are an integral part of this country's history and keeping the product, you know, British wrestling alive as well, because we haven't got television like the Americans.
Oh, hey, stop yourself there, love. Next week, straight after us, it's back. We've been off for a few weeks. It's back next week. The BWC show, the Roundup show. You are on it this week as our British ambassador, and it's that quality match you had with AJ Styles. Tell me about that.
Well, what can I say? Well, in a week's time, that's when British wrestling is huge again. So I got in just before, you know, it happened. An amazing match. I think we were talking earlier, it was about 10 years ago now, and amazing memories, you know. It was a great time when wrestling was really on the up in this country, and it's not to say that it isn't now, but it was a different time where there wasn't an internet and things like that. And, you know, I think it was at the York Hall in Bethnal Green, which is an amazing venue. And the fans and everything, I think they started to appreciate that British wrestling was every bit as good as American wrestling. It just wasn't on television. And the match I had with AJ that night was it was definitely a turning point for my career. And I think it showed a lot of the fans there in attendance that what they can do, we can do just as well.
And finally, before we move on to a couple of challenges for you. It's all right, there's no Vindaloo this week, Pat, or whatever it is. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Before we
go that far.
The worst dive you've ever played in, anywhere in the world, you know, where you've turned up, you've got changed, you've gone out, there's either nobody there, or it's just the biggest shithole in the world ever. You know, I love hearing this, and you've turned up and you've got, like, you know, 10p or whatever it is, and you just think, what am I doing?
The worst one I've probably ever done, I won't say who it was for, but it was a Fate. So obviously no one's there to see wrestling or anything, they're just like sort of wandering around stalls and stuff. And there was a ring just set up in the middle of a field, on a slant, of course. there's like dog shit everywhere, yeah. But this was the kicker, like, the changing room was the van that the ring came in. So you got the baby faces and the heels all changing in the van. So, like, there's no music, of course, so you just go out when you want. So you just open the back door of the van, the heel gets out, slams the door, goes to the ring, does a promo, I hate you, I hate my opponent, and stuff. Next opponent, please. You get out the same van, open the door, close it, and you just get in the ring. I hate this guy, I haven't seen him, I'm going to kill him, you know?
I'll be really honest, this sounds like something I would watch. It really does. Fate-style wrestling. It'd be brilliant. You just see a couple of old women with a cake stall, you know, looking going, ooh, oh, he just did a centre.
I'll be honest, that was an Alex Shane show as well.
Brilliant, right. First challenge we gave you at the start of the show, off camera, your name obviously being Johnny Storm. We're looking for a stable, and feel free to get involved. The hashtag's at the bottom of your screen right now. A stable of weather-influenced wrestlers. So you've had time to think about it. Obviously, Johnny Storm would be in there.
I'm going to shoot straight in with Gail Kim.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Gail Kim, all right, yeah, well...
It's not that, that's just the...
Yeah, she's married.
Oh, I've got to do one, have I? OK, all right. Let me say, Al Snow.
Yeah? No, I'm not getting involved.
It's your show.
All right, earthquake. No, it's not weather, is it? Right, Landstorm.
That's poor, man.
Well, come
on. Barry Windham.
Yeah, that's very good. Very good. OK. Gusty Rhodes.
Take me out of it. Take me out of it. I just want one more from you.
All right, I'm going to shoot from the hip on this one. This is totally off the top of my head. Claudio Castanelli.
Well, I like that. That's brilliant.
It's amazing how I think of these things.
I'm just trying to think of an umbrella sort of one that you get, but no, don't worry. Anyway, and finally, we have a meme here, which Pat absolutely adores. I want you to have a look at this. You've had 5 or 10 minutes to have a look. If you can explain this picture to our audience, because I can't see it. It's not because the telly's too small, it's because I've got cataracts. So who is this, apart from Steve Linsky in the background? Looking a little bit svelte.
My first impression would be if that is Steve Linsky, how much did he pay for his own flight to referee in America? That took the heat off me, you say.
Yeah. That's all right. So that is, I honestly can't see.
It's Davey Richards and Macho Man's mate.
Macho Man's mate? Jay Lethal.
In the spirit of we're in Essex, that's, from me, it's got to be oosh.
Are you watching Extreme Rules tonight? You still keep up with the product?
Absolutely. I watch it religiously, 24 hours a day.
The WWE Network has never launched. It's coming. No, seriously, it is. It's coming. And tonight, you're going to be staying up?
Yes, I'll be staying up.
And seriously, just before we go, we've got like one minute left before we get kicked off. I've heard if you speak to any wrestler in the UK, he wants a mask because you do look a bit like Rey Mysterio. I'm thinking that the whole way through. Rey Mysterio, no mask. Is it true that you may have sold wrestling masks to people around the world?
No.
So if I had 20 quid right now to buy a wrestling mask off you, could I?
Yeah, you could.
Right. The Wonder Kid, Johnny Storm. Thank you very much to Catherine Miller and Francesca Wood for being on tonight. Don't ruin the set, put it back, I know what you like. From the Daily Star, Patrick Lennon. And Hooked on Wrestling. Enjoy Extreme Rules. We'll see you in 7 days' time on WrestleTalk TV. Good night, everybody.
I heard tell recently, Dixie, of a powerful meeting within the world of wrestling. Two of the most powerful ladies in the game, two of the most powerful people in the game, yourself and Stephanie McMahon. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
WrestleTalk TV is sponsored by TNA Turning Point 2012 on DVD, an online wrestling training school, the School of Wrestling Knowledge.org.
Shredded wheat is to, well, top it. Shredded wheat. Discover how good it can be.
If someone you love has been hit with the news they're facing cancer, order Be There.
BWC British Wrestling Roundup is brought to you by Holy Grail, the true story of British wrestling's revival, and online wrestling training school, WrestlingKnowledge.org. BWC British Wrestling Roundup is brought to you by Holy Grail, the true story of British wrestling's revival, and online wrestling training school, WrestlingKnowledge.org.
Discover Boursin Portions.
Hello! Virgin Media have got a great choice of bundles, all half price for 6 months. You can choose from TV or TV with TiVo. It lets you record 3 shows at once, you know. Even fibre optic broadband. Super fast enough for the whole house to be online. Plus calls from as little as £4 a month for 6 months. Along with line rental for $14.99 monthly. So, whether it's TV and calls, broadband and calls, or all 3 in one of our brilliant collections, you can enjoy great half-price entertainment from just £4. So why not call 0800 052 1060 or visit virginmedia.com today.
At
Sharp's bedrooms, whatever your particular style, however much clever storage space you need, and whatever shape your room is, we'll not only help you find exactly what you're looking for, we'll design, create and fully install it too. The Sharp's half-price sale is now on. Call or click for your nearest bedroom showroom or for a free home design visit. Sharp's and you.
Welcome to Sky Store. The easy way to rent over 1,000 movies. From the latest blockbusters to all-time classics. And the best bit is, you can rent them straight to your TV whenever you want. Sky, believe in better.
About 4 or 5 months ago, I started seeing a psychiatrist. Okay, come on, give it to me. Give it in my face, come on.
I bid my soul.
Are you sure? That's a big move.
The devil's chasing me.
Brand new Supernatural starts Wednesday from 10, Sky Living HD.